Make no mistake, we will hold President Trump accountable.
On a parliamentary inquiry.
The gentleman will state his parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Chairman, did you have that little speech prepared before this hearing went downhill?
It is not a proper parliamentary inquiry, and the answer is no. Pursuant to the resolution for investigative procedures adopted by this committee last week, and pursuant to notice, we will now proceed to staff questioning.
Mr. Chairman,
the majority has designated Barry Burke to conduct its questioning.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. Clause 2J. Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman will state his point of order.
Clause 2J, 2C of Rule 11 permits up to 1 hour of questioning by staff of this committee. This gentleman is a private consultant.
You're talking too fast. I can't understand you. I'm sorry.
This gentleman is a private consultant whose very consultant contract explicitly states that he is not an employee of this committee, not a government employee.
I just have a question for the chair.
Who's 60?
I just have a question.
No, questions are not in order. We're discussing a point of order.
I have a question on the point of order.
Then you're recognized.
If they're staff, why were they called consultants in their employment contract?
That's not a point of order.
Well, let me ask, Mr. Chairman. Let me ask about this. Did the rule change last week, 1 week ago today, that we voted on, that you voted for, we voted against? Did it mention the word consultants in the rule changes that were adopted by the committee?
I can't hear what he's saying. You're talking.
Chairman, regular order.
Yes, I cannot hear what Mr. Jordan is saying because Mr. Collins is talking too.
The resolution that the majority adopted last week, was the word consultant mentioned in there when it came relative to the ability of staff to ask questions?
It was not.
It was not. So let me get this straight. You changed the rules last week, and now this week you're not going to follow the rules you changed.
We are all right. I am going to rule on the point of order.
Mr. Chairman.
No, I'm going to rule on the point of order.
I'd like to speak towards the point of order.
It is not in order to have a debate on a point of order. The gentleman made his point of order.
They're not an employee of the committee, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman, you've made that point. That's your point of order. I am prepared to rule on it.
But may I be heard on a point of personal privilege?
Gentlelady.
Since my name has been invoked, I have ascertained that, in fact, the staff director for the House Administration Committee has not been solicited for his information.
Did not ask your staff director, ask ours.
Okay.
Fine.
Now,
because you're at this point.
I yield back, Mr.
Because we go back. The issue here, though, is
the issue here was stated already by you. You don't have to repeat it.
No, this is be careful going down this road, Mr. Chairman.
You made your point, and I'm going to rule on it.
Be careful, Mr. Chairman.
I'm going to be very careful.
The steamroller.
Number one, we are in an impeachment investigation, but that is, whether or not we are, is not relevant to this question. So we're not going to debate whether.
Yes, it is.
It is not relevant to that question.
But now you just from investigation to inquiry. I mean, which is it?
That is not relevant to this question. The committee's retention of consultants is consistent with prior committee practice. Consultants have been retained to question witnesses at hearings and at other proceedings, not only in impeachment hearings. This is consistent with past practice. I so rule. I overrule the point of order.
Mr. Chairman, parliamentary.
The point of order is overruled.
Parliamentary.
And unless someone wants to ask for a vote on the point of order,
now, Mr. Chairman,
do you wish to ask? You wish to vote on?
No, I want to talk. I want to ask you a question here because
the point of order.
Regular order, Mr. Chairman.
The point of order. You raised the point of. You were recognized for the purpose of raising a point of question. You raised it. I ruled on it. Do you wish to appeal the ruling of the chair? Yes or no?
Yes.
I moved to table, Mr. Chairman.
What?
I moved to table the appeal of the ruling.
This is a sad day. This is a sad day for this.
The ruling of the chair is appealed. The gentlelady moves to table the appeal of the ruling of the chair. The clerk will call the roll.
So that was a flashback to the impeachment hearings, which are some of the biggest. It's like that impeachment hearing is one of the biggest shams in American history, by the way. And it's relevant now because it looks like Trump is going to be coming back and, oh my God, so we're going to go through all of this again. But when you watch this, like Jerry Nadler, you know, I call him the Penguin. He's losing control over what's going on. He says he wants to do one thing and then does the other. Everybody's confused. That's Jim Jordan that you hear in the background. That's like saying, okay, what is the process here? What is going on? Corey Lewandowski is kind of just like looking around like, WTF is going on. And this is literally a microcosm of how absurd and absolutely ridiculous those impeachment hearings were. I remember when they happened, and I remember when they did it, I was just like, this is completely politically motivated. This makes absolutely no sense. They are grasping for straws here. They want to do this to Trump just so that they can have the sort of smear of impeachment on him. And by the way, now that we're talking about impeachment, I hope that if the GOP regains power, I really do hope that Biden gets impeached, because there are things that have happened that are infinitely more impeachable than any of that stuff that they were trying to get Trump with. But when you watch this clip and you watch this stuff, you see Democrats and Nadler, the Penguin, and all that stuff just completely out of control. They don't have control. They don't know what they're doing. They're switching things around. And I'm Corey Lewandowski here. I'm just like, why am I here? I'm Jim Jordan. Like, what are you going to do? These people are ridiculous.